Our investigation began with conversations about race, identity, and skin color. We mixed primary colors to create shades of brown that match our individual skin tones. We began to notice that our skin colors are unique mixes of colors and everyone's skin is a different shade of brown. Using our skin color paint, we drew our self-portraits with black line. The children were invited to sample the paint on their own skin to see if the shades of brown were a match. We asked, how do we get our skin color? Some said by growing. You have to have the same skin as your mom and dad. My dad have lots of freckles. I know that babies are born and they come out of the same color as their families. We continued our investigation remotely and we used online skin color mixing to find shades of brown. We modeled adding lighter and darker shades to create new hues of brown. During their work with still life portraits, self-portraits, and murals, children grow skills for looking closely and communicating what they see and think.
ECC Charles has been learning about and listening to all sorts of different stories. Invented stories, real stories, silly stories, and stories to help us learn. Students categorized stories as windows or mirrors based on their identities. Our examination of stories ties into Julius Lester's idea of people as stories in our year-long examination of true stories. Who tells them, what do they mean, and what can we learn from them? Mr. Raskin read The Passover Mouse and explained, "This book is a mirror for me because Passover is a holiday I celebrate. It's a mirror because I see myself in the story. Those are all true stories for me because I grew up with it. If you've never celebrated Passover, it may be a window." Third grade is currently drafting designs for the new Massachusetts state flag. After studying the indigenous people in their ongoing study in Massachusetts, they examined the flag and what the symbol and motto meant. Students quickly felt, if I was an indigenous person, I would not like for this to be the flag of my state. Students brainstormed and designed new flags, carefully picking colors and symbols to represent our home. Students hope to send these designs and explanations to the State House for their voices to be heard.
Over the past couple of months, 5th grade students have been working on building an immigration museum that explores topics connected to Chinese immigration. These topics include reasons Chinese immigrants left China in the first half of the 19th century, to the passing and impact of the Chinese Exclusion Act in the 1880s, to how and why Chinese cuisine in America has changed over the years. In regards to social justice, students have explored many of the challenges early Chinese immigrants faced when in the United States, and ways they were subjected to racial discrimination and violence. They've also explored how they formed vibrant communities that were very rich upon their arrival here. Recently, we have compared the experience of Chinese immigrants in the 19th century to later groups of immigrants from Asia and their experiences today, be that connected to racial prejudices and violence due to the pandemic, or the model minority myth and how that actually is damaging to Asian American communities. As our year continues, we will move towards using our knowledge of these challenges and injustices to think about how we can be good partners to Asian American community members, especially here in Boston.
Hola, soy Maria Acuña, one of the Spanish teachers here at Advent. When collaborating with the 6th grade class, we learned about the Latin changemakers, Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta. We read, researched, and discussed points about their lives, like how does one make change in a peaceful way? We created web pages that included biographical information, social justice contributions, quotes, and photographs. I'd like to finish with one of my favorite Cesar Chavez quotes. En español, la preservación de la cultura propia no requiere ni del desprecio ni de la falta de respeto a otras culturas. In English, preservation of one's culture does not require contempt nor disrespect for other cultures. Cesar Chavez. Muchas gracias. Thank you.